So I'm using artificial intelligence to build a language learning application where you can learn the Nahuatl language. Now, for those of you that don't know, Nahuatl is the most common indigenous language in Mexico, but there's a lot of problems with using artificial intelligence to teach it. Now, the subject of languages is really crazy when you really think about it, so let's break this down a bit. But it's kind of crazy that we could just kind of like bend the air so we can express stuff. First of all, we have to appreciate that the nationalization or the standardization of languages is very recent in the human story. So something like Italy didn't even become an actual state until 1861, so there wasn't a formal Italian language until after 1861. And here you can take a look at researchers essentially explaining that there isn't even a standard spelling system in the Nahuatl language, and it's really difficult to actually unify the language. Likewise, if we look at Mayan dialects, there are a number of different dialects. Again, that's very regional, it's empire-based, there's a lot of localization. And here's the Empire of Spain. Again, if you belong to an empire, you're a subject of the empire, but you identify with your local region. So again, the Spanish that you speak in one region may not be the Spanish of another region. Likewise, Latin became French, it became Italian, it became Spanish. This is why if you talk to Spanish speakers from different countries, you may notice differences in words or phrases or expressions. And this is pretty much repeatable everywhere. Language is highly variant. So this is pretty key to learning something like Nahuatl or even modern languages like Arabic. There's a lot of variation. There is no standardization. It's a very localized language. So ironically, one of the problems with large language models is the emotional expressions of human language. If I were to say something like, "What's up?" how do you translate that in Nahuatl? Well, clearly the heavens are up, right? But at the same time, with artificial intelligence, we can start to clue things. We can still learn a lot of fundamentals of language. So as you can see here, I tend to be getting a lot of ka ni mitzla nimich. So then if we start to look these characterizations up, we can see that ni is a conjugation of I. Meets can be a conjugation of you. And then a word like ga can be something like because, since, why, how. Then we can look at combinatorial words that say ni mitzla il namiki, which has the word you and I in it. So again, language is actually a really crazy computational problem. Now the application that I do have here is pretty cool. There's a number of different languages, but now was the main problem that I wanted to work on. And you can still learn a lot of cool words like how to say good morning or I love you or thank you and stuff like that. And when it comes to learning languages, you can communicate a lot with few words. So I encourage you guys to check it out. All right, folks, peace.